Welcome everybody. I can still see people joining us, so welcome. I'm just giving a few more minutes to let everyone come in, and welcome to December's conference. I can't believe it's the end of 2022 already, and I've got my Christmas jumper on just for you. So it's great to see everybody. Welcome. There's a few more people still joining us, but we have quite a lot to get through today. So I'll just hang on for a minute or two, and I want to get going because we've got some great speakers to share with you, to share their experience with you and their reviews. And I've also got quite a bit to get through myself. So I think, do we still have a couple in the waiting room? No? Okay, welcome everybody. It's great to see it's great to see lots of familiar faces there. Lovely to see you all. Welcome. So today's conference is going to be a reflection on the global teaching and learning of 2022. So I'm going to start, if that's okay. It is being recorded, so if you missed this beginning, you can go back to it. So the agenda for today, I'm going to do a brief introduction myself. Then we have 5 amazing speakers for you: Sananda, Nazreen, Jack, Servet, Hazu and Martin, and John will introduce them later. But so that's the order. We'll start now at 4 and hopefully we'll be finished by 6, but we've got a lot to get through. So the usual, please use the chat function to say hi, let us know where you're from. Also, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We'll just keep the communications going that way. And if you specifically want to maybe say this question yourself, raise your hand. There is an emoji, if you call it image that you can put up. So raise your hand, and we can ask you to say it yourself, or we can ask the question for you. But please keep communicating in the chat. It's great to see you all. Just an introduction to the Global School Alliance for those of you who are new tonight or haven't met us before. Global School Alliance is an amazing community, and if you're not a member, you should be. But basically, we've got some inspirational educators around the world. The whole aim is to get together as part of a community. We want to enable these connections, and we also want to provide opportunities to to connect and facilitate those connections and networking, really, and really with a shared vision of developing global education, improving students' outcomes, creating global citizens for the future. We want to be able to help you connect. We want to be able to support those connections. We want to be able to provide programs, tools, frameworks that you can use to help develop your students and improve outcomes for them for their futures. So it's an amazing online community, and please join us. We have a lot of opportunities to connect. We have our Facebook page and our LinkedIn page and a fantastic platform. It's free to connect, so there's no reason why not to join. When you get on the platform, you can connect with members through the news feed, just have a chat with each other people. You'll be kept up to date with all the events and exciting opportunities that are available for you. There is a forum for doing joint projects. We have a great student council meetings, and obviously these monthly conferences to participate in. And it's also where we host our partnership groups. We have a group spaces for your partnerships. So there are lots of exciting things to take part in. Members are contributing all the time to some fantastic blogs and resources. So please join and explore the platform and find some useful things to develop your international links and to connect with this amazing community around the world. We have an awards program. So like I say, we're trying to put together programs and tools and opportunities for you to engage your students, to help them develop their skills as global citizens. And this framework is, again, another way to encourage and celebrate what we're doing. Everybody loves a certificate, don't we? So, but it is nice to celebrate and recognize what schools are providing for their students to develop their global aspects. And the framework obviously will help show progression and provide amazing opportunities. So it's a way of embedding it within the school, from raising awareness at bronze level to student interaction online to develop their skills, to amazing international travel at gold level. So we're here to support for that, and you can use your own self-assessment tool to see where you're up to. And John is doing a fantastic job of supporting schools to get up to their gold accreditations. So check this out too. We have some amazing projects you can take part in, and we have the current season's greetings one. And thank you everybody who's already contributed. Some great season's greetings going on there. You've still got time to upload and send us some more. If you don't celebrate Christmas, we would love to know what else you celebrate. It could be just New Year, different festivals, how you celebrate the holidays. Please upload some amazing pictures, as you can see, from students' work mainly. But any greetings you'd like to share with us, that is on a groups page on the platform. Please contribute to that. It'd be amazing. And like I said, joining the community is free. You will be kept up to date with all the amazing opportunities to take part in these events each month. Again, participate too. So we obviously, it's for members, so we want you to help us build this platform out, build this community out to be fit for purpose. So the more contribution from you, the better the community will be. So please join us. We have a quick, our own personal review. We've managed to drag Tom in, our CEO, to give you an overview of our review of this year. So I'll play his. I didn't check I could play his, actually. Let me just confirm I can play this. Typical. I checked everybody else could play. I didn't check mine. I might have to stop sharing and actually, let me find the video that isn't working when I'm sharing. Here he is. Okay, I'm going to make this full screen. Beg your pardon. Now I've lost it. Technology, as we were saying, it's a wonderful thing. Hold on a second. Beg your pardon. Am I getting this to work? What have I done? Well, bear with me 1 minute while I stop sharing. I've lost the video. I beg your pardon. Where are we? For some reason, it played fine when I wasn't online. Now, wait, I think I've got it. Beg your pardon. Okay, let me share screen again. Now, please let me know if you can actually.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's really, really good to reconnect with all of you in the Global School Alliance.
That's not working, is it? Try again.
Just wanted to take a couple of minutes to really give you a quick review of all the great things that we've achieved in 2022 and to get you really excited for what lays ahead in 2023. 2022, we have now welcomed over 7,000 global educators to the Alliance. We have over 4,000 school members that are connecting and interacting on the platform. We've established over 50 school partnerships in just the past 6 months, and we have a long list of schools who've shown really strong interest in establishing more partnerships from over 130 countries that are now represented in the Global School Alliance. We've had some fantastic launches with our global school transformations, with our digital transformations, our training transformations, and our travel transformations. And I'm very, very excited to welcome John to the team. John's an expert who's in the international space from the British Council for over 20 plus years, along with Juan, who is joining us from Peru, who is, again, great example of a global citizen, internationally school educated, IB schools, lived all over the world. We worked together in China many years ago, and now he's joining the team to really support with the further development and delivering some of these amazing travel opportunities for 2023. Very exciting news to announce that we are able to provide another cohort, a spring cohort of funding for the reimbursable Global School Transformation Program. And it's very exciting to see that we have a schedule of travel and exchange programs lined up for 2023. That will start with educators, with head teachers and educational consultants who will have the ability to travel the world, to meet schools from every corner of the planet, hold educational roundtables, and of course, set up long established partnerships. What we have found, again, post-COVID, is that we are now finally ready for the world to reconnect with student trips. It's really, really exciting to see. For me, that has really been where the most value can be seen, and the biggest impacts and biggest transformations, of course, is with our student community. So 2023, get ready for a lot more travel, get ready for a lot more educational funding programs, for bigger school transformations, for big developments on the platform, a lot more support, being your partner of choice for globalization, and obviously developing more exciting global citizenship opportunities for our students around the world. I can't wait to see you guys face to face in some of these exciting events that will be coming down the pipeline to you guys very soon. Really enjoy your festive period. We have had a really exciting year, and we are so excited to work with you guys some more in 2023. Thanks again.
Thank you, Tom. So that was from our CEO, and we've actually we have also a quick overview. I can escape from that now. Hang on a second. Of the year ourselves. So I'm just going to do a quick, pardon. I can find a second. So we have our highlights reel here too, which we'd like to share with you. Some amazing interactions with students and the exciting things that have been happening in the Global School Alliance this year.
Wishing you a very happy 2023. Happy New Year! Happy 2023! Happy New Year!
Amazing. Thank you, everybody who contributed to that as well. So I have mentioned this before, that we also do make our conferences interactive. So those of you who've done this before will know what's coming next. We have I've done that, I beg your pardon, let me move on. We have a poll where we'd like to have your opinion. So we are obviously looking ahead at 2023 as well as where we've been to in 2022. And we'd like to have your participation, as in to let us know how confident you feel that you will have some global activity within your school next year. So are you very confident, fairly confident, or not confident? And I think Hannah are you okay to launch the poll now? And please participate, because we are really interested in hearing from you. Are we okay to launch that? Because I'm sharing screen, I can't see it's happening. Hannah, is the poll launched and are people participating? Yep. Fantastic. So please do vote. And Hannah, when you're ready, if you think everybody's had a chance to give us their opinion, I would appreciate it if maybe you could tell me the results too, because I can't see them. Give them a few more minutes to have a go. Just please tell us how confident that there will be some global activity within your school next year.
Okay, so we've got 66% say very confident, 28% say fairly confident, and 6% not confident.
Oh, that is really reassuring. Thanks, Hannah. And thank you, everybody, for contributing. But then again, I think everybody, if you're here, you're obviously thinking globally already, which is fantastic. And we want to support you to make sure that everybody's very confident, able to have to participate and do much more global activities within your school next year. Again, we normally ask you that we want to have a record of your amazing participation in this conference today. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to practice your smile. Put your cameras on. You don't have to have them on all the time. It's nice for the speakers to be able to see who they're talking to. So please, everybody, turn on your cameras. Practice your smile, and we're going to take some screenshots of everybody who's there. And I'm going to nag you. If I can see your cameras not on, I might name and shame. So come on, let's see you all put your cameras on, even if it's only for a minute or two. And then we're going to take some, come on, there's quite a lot there who haven't put the cameras on. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Practice your smile, brush your hair, brush your teeth if you like. Okay, come on, there's still quite a few without cameras on. Nice to see you. Come on, guys, turn your cameras on for 2 minutes so we can take a nice smiley face. Okay, Hannah, are we all right to take some screenshots? 2 more minutes. Nice smiles, guys. Wonderful. Say cheese. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Okay, that's great. We'll carry on. I did warn you that we make you interact. I do bully, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's me over with. I wanted to get on because I think we have some fantastic speakers. Please be part of our community, and I'm going to hand over to John so that we can get on to hear from you. Thanks, John.
Great, thanks, Tony. I think we've got our Christmas card now for the Global School Alliance. Thanks, everyone. A big welcome to everyone. Great to see some familiar faces joining us. We're very proud that we're now working in 125 countries. So again, a huge thanks to all our wonderful family. We're thrilled that we have got 6 wonderful and inspirational speakers joining us today to talk about their experiences, their reflections of their global activity across 2022. So from India, it's a big hello to Sananda Pandey. Hello, Sananda. Sananda is a middle school science educator and an SDG ambassador, and has key involvement in the major SDGs to Save the World project, working with participants from Argentina, Indonesia, Nigeria, Malaysia, Japan, Kazakhstan, Qatar, and Pakistan. Great work there, Sananda. Always looking for more global schools to collaborate with, and a huge interest in developing more community-based projects. You're very welcome, Sananda. So across from India, we go to Egypt. Hello, Nesreen. Nesreen Narulden, the Vice Principal of Arabic Education at the British Columbia Canadian International School in Egypt. Her master's degree was in quality management and education, including global learning and leadership skills. Nesreen has a strong commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals and developed a range of school partners globally, including the UK, India, Jordan, Tunisia, and Morocco. You're very welcome, Nesreen. Good to see you. And from Egypt, we go across to the UK. Hello, Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is the program manager for the world's largest lesson. He's a Teach SDGs ambassador and has many years' experience working on education projects across the UK and globally. Jack recently worked on the high-profile Generation Earthshot and Earthshot Prize with the Royal Foundation. So hello, Jack, you're very welcome. And we go across to our friends from Turkey. Hello, Servet Ozveren and Arzu Unel. Both Servet and Arzu are experienced English teachers with a keen passion for teaching, working currently on a range of global projects related to the Sustainable Development Goals and involved with the development of lesson materials and differentiated learning activities for their middle school students. You're both very welcome. And finally, across from Turkey back to the UK, and it's hello, Martin Ridley. Martin is the head of citizenship and the international coordinator at St. Peter's Catholic School in Bournemouth. An experienced teacher of English as a foreign language, he taught in Poland and at a boarding school. He developed the whole school partnership with the Shea O'Connor School in South Africa, which has been going since 2009. Great work there, Martin, and is always proud to work with so many global colleagues. So it's wonderful to have 6 inspirational speakers with us. And without further ado, it's hello Sananda in India, Sananda Pandey, who will tell us of her experiences of 2022.
Are you okay to share the screen, Sananda? Thank you.
Thank you, John, for your wonderful introduction. And Tony, I just like to share my screen so that I can start. I hope my screen is visible, John.
We can see it, yes, Sananda, thank you.
Namaste from India, everybody. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, in a Sanskrit phrase found in Hindu texts, such as the Maha Upanishada, which means the world is one family. Vedic traditions mention Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, meaning all living beings on the earth are a family. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the wonderful people assembled here with a common goal, and that is sharing. Because sharing is caring. So here I go. With your kind permission, I'd like to start my presentation with the mindfulness bell that we usually do. So here I go. Just give me a few seconds. You may all sit quietly. If you feel like closing your eyes, you may please. And focus your attention on this sound. We may all rub our hands together, put it on your eyes gently, and we are good to go. I'll start my presentation with the school vision and mission. DPS Varanasi is a school where facilitators and parents, we work together in tandem to reach the pinnacle by motivating every child to develop inner potential and imbibe 21st century skills to succeed as a global citizen. And because of that, I'm here today. And my school's mission is to inspire our children to be passionate, lifelong learners and to innovate and contribute in meaningful ways to the society. So here are glimpses of some work that I have been doing with my school students. Post-pandemic, everyone's skill sets get increasingly specialized. Collaboration as a practice becomes more important than ever. Same is true for us as educators as well as for our students. Pandemic, no doubt, was too scary for all of us. But as it is said, that adversity and the struggles and hardships that come with it make you stronger. They'll empower you to get what you want out of your life. And I strongly believe that the more we push ourselves, the more we grow in experience and we develop confidence. The struggle builds strength. In the beginning, online teaching was really a very challenging job for all of us. Our journey from chalk and duster, turned into screen and click. But slowly and gradually, we learned to manage it with the support and rigorous professional development programs conducted by our school management, as well as online sessions we attended. And, we were ready to learn lesson planning, online classroom management, online tools, assessment tools, reflections, etc. These helped me gain confidence, and soon we all were doing it flawlessly. Right now, I'll give you a very simple example. When I started collaborating, with some schools, sharing screen was a big challenge. And now see the difference. So this is great, learning. We also got to know about various platforms to connect with other classrooms. learn from them and share our learnings too with them. So here you can see there were many countries we connected, and like Russia, we connected with Tunisia, and I can see Ms. Doha is there with us here. And I really know gratitude, Ms. Doha. We learned, we worked together, we collaborated with you, and then our children know they learn a lot. So we collaborated with Japan, Israel, Russia, Tunisia to learn about various topics like environment, eco-bricks, plastic pollution, culture exchange. So here I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my school management, principals, my cooperative colleagues, my beloved students, supportive parents to, for their constant support and encouragement. Special thanks to the director, DPS Varanasi, Nashik, Lava, Nagpur, Mr. Siddharth Rajgadia, who gave me an opportunity to explore and learn more in order to facilitate our students, learners, confidently. There are not only images, dear all, but are evidences of our learning that helped us transform and evolve. That was our evolution period, it has not yet, it's there on. So these remind us that nothing is impossible in this world. If we are together, we are stronger. And Global School Alliance, it's bringing us all together. Together we can change the world. Yes? Okay, so here you can see some glimpses. We are like collaborating with, you can see Ms. Doha here in this picture. She's there. So what I found as an educator for the first time, I got associated with many projects like Rise Up for SDGs, that was started by Ms. Paramjeet Cardhill in India. Then I got associated with Rise Up for EWaste, then Road to Recovery programs. All these actually helped me transform into a more sensible and more, confident educator. I can show you, let me just, if I can show a presentation here, a small, I hope it will be audible to you all. This was the work done by my children for Rise Up for EWaste, electronic waste. Now, another milestone which I would like to share here. This year, our school has also been selected for the Climate Action Schools program under the guidance of Queen Timur and Jennifer Williams. Gratitude to them. The organization Take Action Global works worldwide with students, teachers, educational institutions, and organizations to use climate education as a force for environmental action. I'll be leading as a climate champion with my team, Delhi Public School, Varanasi, India. According to the guidelines mentioned, we'll be joining with school organizations across the world and in a shared commitment to take action for the planet. So thank you, dear Queen and Jennifer, for this wonderful opportunity. Looking forward to take actions together. And now I'm going to talk about, this is an effort that was started by Delhi Public School, Varanasi, Nashik, and India. Delhi Public School Society, dear all, for your information, is a registered society which owns the brand name Delhi Public School. It is the largest chain of school in India, and many schools are brought too. The continued effort to change the world with SDGs to Save the World project, Delhi Public School, Varanasi, Nashik, and Lava, Nagpur, India launched the SDG International Collaborative Project. On 18 September 2021, the project was a team effort of 8 different countries to support each other in helping our students to be the change makers. The enthusiastic facilitators were brimming with ideas to make the project a learning experience for the students. We started with 8 schools across the globe in cohort 1. Now, our family of SDGs to save the world, by the end of cohort 3 that we ended, and I was really happy to see Tony and Sean, they were guests, and it was a wonderful experience. So we are now working with 15 different countries across the globe and hoping to add more in our upcoming cohort 4 that is starting from February 2023. And we are going to learn together and make our world a better place to inhabit. So gratitude team SDGs to save the world. We are stronger together. I just want to share, just a minute, I'll be sharing the newsletter. And so here, these are the countries. We started with this. So these are the torch bearers, you can see. Our director, Delhi Public School, Nashik, Nagpur, and Varanasi, Mr. Sejat Rajgaria. The countries, these all countries, we work together. This was the culmination project. Here you go. So here I'd like to share a small video that will show you the work, what we actually do in this project. This actually is a sample project done by one of the schools based on a 5I model of problem solving. And this is identify a problem, investigate, implement, and then inform. So I'll just show, not full, but a glimpse of this project.
Because children are the future of tomorrow and human resources are the greatest resource of every country. So keeping that in mind, we thought to play our part by helping the students who are not able to go to school.
We found the major reasons for this is poverty, due to which students are not able to afford school fees.
Step 3, ideate. Now it was time to brainstorm and solve the issue at our own level. Turn your obstacles into opportunities and your problem into opportunities. Keeping this quote in mind, we thought of several issues to solve this issue. We thought of each one, teach one. We thought of opening public libraries. We also thought of your students can teach Varanasi continues forever. And the majority of them think that each one, teach one is one of the best.
Now it was time to implement our solution. For this, we collected numbers of students and started conducting several sessions with them. Each member of our team was allotted a student to whom we talked regularly. We understood what they liked, what was their favorite subject, etc. We also discussed our solutions with our principal sir to get more is informed, in which we informed others about all people in authority.
सबसे पहले तो आप लोग को बधाई दूंगा, बहुत अच्छे सब्जेक्ट पे आप लोग काम कर रहे हैं.
Our team also presented about this issue in the SDGs to Save the World International Collaborative Project, where progress and working together is success.
So here I go the timeline, SGDs to Save the World, cohort 4. If you're interested to join us, then this is you can click the image and I'll be sharing my mail ID, you can contact. And then I would love that all these members, those who are there with us today, they can join us. So you can have this dates, they're starting. The educators meet, first of all, on 30th of January 2023, and then we are starting our launch. We are launching on 13th of February and will be ending on 15th of May 2023. So here you can see there are 5 steps: identify, investigate, ideate, and implement. And in our culmination program, students inform the world what they have actually done. So whatever they do it locally, and then they present it in the international groups. Polling, what actually we do in this? Students actually choose their SDGs to work upon. Here we value students' voice and choice. So this is a small song. I would request my team members, let's sing together this wonderful song, originally prepared by Mark Shepard. Here, my SDG champs of Team SDGs to Save the World Cohort 3, they're singing together with signature steps. So let's celebrate this wonderful moment wherein we unique individuals from different countries working together towards a common goal to bring about a big change in our world together. Are we ready? May I play this?
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out. Find out what it's all about. Together we can change the world. Can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sail past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world.
Before pandemic, I was simply a teacher who used mostly chalk and duster to deliver her lessons. During pandemic, I struggled. I unlearned a few things, relearned a few, and learned many new things, including interesting, engaging learning strategies to involve my learners, and got myself evolved into a lifelong learner who is ready to learn from any situation, from anyone. Research shows that struggling is absolutely critical to mastery, and that the highest achieving people in the world are those who have struggled the most. I hope I was able to convey and share my learning with a great team of learners here. I thank Global School Alliance team for providing such an amazing opportunity to share my learnings with you all. The Global School Alliance really unites passionate educationists from around the world. It's mentioned on the global, homepage. I was reading that. So by combining online collaborations and immersive experiences, members can develop actually transformational international partnerships. So thank you, Team GSA, once again for this wonderful learning experience. Namaste, and thank you everyone for your patient listening. You may share your questions if you have with me, and my mail ID is there, sunanda@dpsvaranasi.com. You can click and you can share your queries here as well. I'll be really happy to help you all. So gratitude, everyone from India. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was fantastic, Sunanda. Thank you so much. Big round of applause there. And we'd be delighted for all our Global School Alliance family to join projects like this. It's very much about sharing and celebrating everybody's commitment to the work. So great work, Sunanda. And we will feature your next project in a forthcoming webinar. Okay,
thank you so much. Thank you once again. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was a couple of questions, John, in the chat. I don't know if we wanted to address them now or not, because I think they were addressed to Sunanda. I think Fethi asked a question and Colette. I don't know, Colette's question was to Sananda, where it's a fantastic project. She wondered how you fitted that into the school's curriculum, or was that extracurricular? How did you manage to do all those projects?
Yeah, this is the part of an extracurricular. We do it in SGD clubs. We have SGD clubs and we do it as a part of that. Thank you for your question, dear.
And Fethi's question was, actually, I think he wanted your personal opinion, as in what was the most memorable activity for your school? What was the most important lesson you learned? But I think you did summarize them a bit at the end there. So what do you want the most important? What was the most important lesson you learned this year?
That is, collaboration is really, really important. Collaboration makes you stronger. So let's work together. This will make you stronger. And when we are together, we are stronger. Thank you.
Fabulous. That answers his relationships, because to me, collaboration and relationships are virtually the same thing, aren't they? Thank you so much, Sananda. Sorry, John.
It's all about collaboration. Fantastic work. Okay, so we move across now to Egypt, and to have the wonderful Nesreen Nareldin tell us all about her fantastic work. And the floor is yours, Nesreen. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon from Egypt. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for the honor and favor for your presence. And this is a very special day for me. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And a special thank you to the Global School Alliance team, Hannah and John and Tony, for inviting me to speak. Before I start, I think John always says you are the most important people in the world, because teaching is the one profession that creates all other professions.
Frozen for a minute.
Starting 2013, the magic happened.
Hi, Nesreen. I think we've lost you. Can you hear us?
No.
Nesreen, can you hear us?
No, she's frozen.
Would it help if everyone had cameras off for this? Maybe.
I think it's her connection, not ours,
Oh,
John.
okay.
I don't think that would make a difference to us particularly. Whether if you wanted to go to the next speaker and maybe give Nesreen a time to see if we could fix her connection. I think she's gone altogether now.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back to Egypt shortly. Good luck with the connections there. So we're moving across now to the UK, and to learn more about the world's largest lesson from Jack Daniels. Hello, Jack. Over to you.
You've just changed his surname, I think, John. Jack Davis.
Hi, team. Yeah, strangely, I did actually go to school with a Jack Daniels, who's in the year below me.
So did I, Jack. Sorry.
This is something that's happened to me throughout my life, where if someone knows another Jack, the most common name around, they reinsert the name. I've actually got a story to do with a misnaming, but I might share it later. So don't worry, John, that there's been an even more noticeable misnaming of me, which we'll come to. That's a teaser for later on. I'm going to share my screen with you. But first, just to say thanks, Tony, John, Hannah, and I was going to say happy birthday to Nesreen, but I'll save that when she's back. So it's really exciting to be here speaking to all of you. I hope you can see my screen. Give me a shout if any issues. Thanks for the thumbs up, Sananda. And Sananda, I loved that presentation. That was amazing. I definitely would love to talk to you about that after this. I think it ties in a lot to what I'm about to speak about. So this is me. I work for the world's largest lesson, and I thought before I start, I'd love to know if people have either heard of the world's largest lesson before. Sananda, love it. Top of the class with the thumbs up. Do say in the chat, and if anyone would like to chime in with how they've come across world's largest lesson before, either in the chat or if you want to come on microphone and let us know, that would be amazing. Alex, I see you've met Alison. I'll pass that on, that you love her. Colette, Sananda, brilliant. Okay, great. So that's a few of you. I will give a kind of background on who we are for those that don't know, and then we'll get into some of the resources that we have to offer and some of the ways that we could all collaborate, as I think that might be the emerging theme of this session: collaboration and relationships. So hello to all of you. It's amazing to be connected with so many different countries through the Alliance. Really exciting to speak to you guys. This is a little bit about who the World's Largest Lesson are and the work that we do. So we're based in London. We're a small team, but we work globally with educators, like many of those on this call, through formal education, non-formal education, international schools, local schools, school groups, clubs, camps. And our mission is to educate, inspire and empower children and young people to take action for the global goals, or SDGs. And the reason we do that, we have a little saying. We say that learning is the first step to action. So as you can see, these two guys here, we hope that all children, by learning about the global goals, can grow up to be change makers. And just a note to say that we do this in partnership with UNICEF. They're our strategic partner, and with thanks to UNESCO as well. And then lots of other partners, big, small, all shapes and sizes around the world. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, I'm guessing from Sananda's presentation that a lot of you will have done a lot of work around the Sustainable Development Goals before. I know that's part of the work the Alliance do. It's really the thing that helps us connect globally to teachers and organisations all over the world. So back in 2015, the organisation I work for, the parent of World's Largest Lesson, called Project Everyone, was part of the team that designed the global goals, the icons, the colours. We helped project them onto the side of the United Nations building here. And our mission really was to tell everyone about the goals. So it was a global campaign through TV, radio, YouTube, video, any possible means we could to tell the world about the SDGs. And in education, that meant a lesson for every child in the world about the Sustainable Development Goals, because we believe that learning about the goals brings in all these different themes of connection, citizenship, purpose, creativity, collaboration. That's so important in learning, and often, as you guys will know, often missed off the mainstream curricula in different countries. So it all started with this grid, the global goals for sustainable development. And I think the reason I've paused on this is because often we create learning resources of all different kinds, but often it's as simple as sharing this with students, and then they really take it and run with it. So I can't even remember how many times I've worked in classrooms in different places, and all we've had to do is show them this grid and say, which of these goals do you identify with? Which do you think are important? And that's where it all starts. Instantly hands go up. They want to tell you why they're interested in goal number 4, quality education, or goal number 11. I recently ran a workshop in Brooklyn during UN General Assembly in a local school. Half of the kids hadn't heard of the UN, even though it was half an hour away from them. 2 of them had heard of the Sustainable Development Goals out of 30, but absolutely all of them put their hand up, and they all chose a different goal and why they thought it was important. One girl said, I picked good health and well-being because I recently needed to get some, I had a toothache and I couldn't get a dentist appointment, and I think it's really important that everyone should have access to health. Someone else said goal number 10, reduced inequalities, because they have a friend who doesn't identify as male or female, and they had been discriminated against in the school because that wasn't accepted for them to identify in that way. So they were advocating on behalf of their friend there. Of course, others picked climate and life below water and life on land. We often see some real connections from students on those environmental goals. Interestingly, life on land, in New York, there's currently an invasion of a very invasive species of beetle. So they were all very excited to tell me about why life on land was important to them in Brooklyn. You could see thousands of them everywhere. So that's the global goals. I'm sure they're familiar to all of you. And that is our reason to be at the World's Largest Lesson. We love the global goals and we want to share them with the world, and we want to share them with educators so that they can reach children and young people with them. And as Sananda said, it's all about collaboration and relationships. So really, in our team, these are the two goals that are core to everything we do. We do a lot of work around making content, campaigns, trying to help teachers, but we don't achieve anything without partnerships with schools, with educators, with clubs, with camps, formal, non-formal education. So everything we do comes back to how can we help teachers and inspire children, and so that they grow up to be change makers. So what I'm going to do is explain just a very quick run through of all the different resources that we offer. They're all for free, and they take many different forms. And then I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing this year and how you guys can all get involved if you'd like to. So this is a little screenshot from our website, our resources page, where we've got hundreds, probably too many resources at the moment, but a very handy search function. So you can go through and see, we've got videos, comics, classroom decorations. For those of you celebrating Christmas, actually, we've got some nice Christmas paper chains with all the different SDGs. We've got lesson plans, we've got action projects. Some of them focus on specific goals. Some of them introduce the goals as a whole. Colette, I saw your comment that it's sad that many UK schools have never heard of the Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah, it's true. Still to this day, I think our most popular resources are the ones that introduce the goals from the very start. And Bernard, I will drop a link to the resource page after this so you can have a look through. So we have lots of resources that introduce the goals as a whole. We have some nice animations. And then we also have some that focus in on specific areas like climate and nature, education itself, gender equality, different areas. All there for free for anyone to access and share. And this is just a little flavour of what some of them look like. So on the top left, we've got one drawing from one of the comics. We like to describe the global goals as a to-do list for the planet. It's a nice description that works for children of all ages, and we've realized this year for adults too. So we've launched a big world's to-do list campaign, and we've had lots of leaders, UN leaders, city leaders getting involved with the world's to-do list and picking their to-do list for the goals. On the right, we have our gender equality project that we did with Emma Watson, who's a brilliant advocate, and it always helps to have a recognisable face, Hermione Granger. Down at the bottom, we have Amina Mohammed. So she's the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, and she's a really strong advocate for education. She spoke very passionately recently at the Transforming Education Summit in New York, and she spoke during a live lesson on YouTube in lockdown, which was brilliant. On the bottom right, you've got one of our animations. Colette's just mentioned that the animation introduced by Malala is a really good introduction to the goals. This is a little still from that animation. Yeah, that's definitely our most popular video we've ever made. And then on the bottom left there, you've got some young climate and environment activists from around the world. I think they range from about I'm going to say around 10 up to 16, all doing work in different countries around the world. Really inspiring activists and an inspiration for students in the classroom to show you're never too young to make a difference. And so I'm just going to quickly pause there and see if anyone's got any questions. Please do feel free to jump in and say your question out loud or to put it in the chat. And then, John, how long have I got to talk through the final bit?
About 5 minutes, Jack.
Perfect.
But we can take questions at the end as well.
Great. Well, I've not seen any coming in on the chat, so I'm going to take that as an opportunity to keep plowing on through. And then, yeah, we can take some at the end. And I'm always happy to connect with everyone afterwards as well. So, as I said, everything we do it in partnership with teachers, with schools, with clubs, and we do it all over the world. So we're just a small team in London, but we work with amazing educators all over the world. These are some brilliant photos from all over the place. We love receiving photos. Sananda, I'm going to ask you to share some photos with me so we can help make the work you're doing famous. That looks absolutely amazing. And I'm going to talk about a few activations we've done to give a flavour. So this is a photo of some students in Nigeria. So in 2019, in partnership with some local youth groups, we managed to teach 1.2 million young Nigerians about the Sustainable Development Goals. So an incredible amount of work done on the ground by young youth volunteers who went into all different states across Nigeria and taught one lesson about the goals to 1.2 million Nigerians. Incredible example of what's possible, all through voluntary action on the ground. Amazing, so proud of that. And I can talk about it proudly because I wasn't part of the team then. I'm just very proud of my colleagues. I'm not boasting. Here is the activation that John mentioned. So this was Generation Earthshot. So this was something we did around design thinking skills, innovation skills for the planet. Some of you might have heard of the Earthshot Prize, which is a big global prize to find the best solutions to repair the planet by 2030. And we did Generation Earthshot as a way to invite children into that mission. So we think children are much more creative than adults. They might not know all of the technical know-how of how to invent a new kind of green hydrogen or invent a new kind of carbon capture technology, but they do have the ideas and the creativity and the purpose. So we wanted to harness that. And it led to a definite career highlight for me, which was leading this really fun workshop at Kew Gardens in London, including junk modelling, brainstorming with, it was then the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, now the Prince and Princess of Wales. So that's William and Catherine there. And I will say, John, that was where I was famously misnamed by Prince William himself, who said, "Can I just say that was absolutely fantastic, Jake, well done." So that's obviously gone down in history with everyone that I work with. A really nice compliment from William, who was brilliant in the session, but I think he must know a Jake, so he remembered my name wrong. And now I'm going to talk about what we've been focusing on this year. So education itself. There, as some of you might know, this year has been quite a big year for education in the UN world. So the Transforming Education Summit was held in New York. It was the first time the United Nations had ever held a summit focusing purely on education. And the mission behind it was to say the world took note of education during COVID-19. Everyone realized how important the work being done by teachers is, but also children, a lot of children who weren't able to access education before, that it became even harder. Many children had to miss some classes or found it difficult to engage with classes. And many teachers faced real issues with their mental health and their workload and took on a really strong burden. So let's use this opportunity to reflect on education as it is and what it could be. And within that whole big conversation, this is really what's been driving us this year at World's Largest Lesson. There are 2.2 billion children in the world, and no one is really asking them how they can make learning better. That's a waste of an opportunity. And that's a quote from Professor Stephen Heppel. And so we see our role in this big conversation about education and funding and the future of education and what it could look like as bringing in the voices of students into this, and using the voices of students to try and drive the change that we all know is needed, so that children and young people can all access education, and so that when they do, it's the kind of education that's creative and inspiring and engaging and gives them the skills and knowledge they need for the future. And so I just wanted to close by sharing this story of Raquel, who spoke at an event that we held in New York on the fringes of the UN General Assembly. So Raquel was our youngest speaker. She's 14, and she stood up and said, I was recently asked a question for the first time. I'd never ever before been asked what I think I should be learning about at school. And it was the single most life-changing question that I'd been asked. And the question she was asked was, which of the Sustainable Development Goals would you like to learn about? And that sent her into realizing her own education she'll get the most from her education if she is able to shape it, and learn about what she thinks is important, what she's passionate about, and what really connects with her and resonates with her. So she stood up and told this story to this room of education leaders, and that's the Chancellor of Education, Dan Weisberg in New York, responding to her calls there, and they had a follow-up call actually afterwards to talk more about what she said about how student voice is so important in this whole conversation. Our mission this year is finding the Raquels that exist all over the world, and we're doing it in two ways: through a survey, a really fun interactive survey. We call it the most fun survey that you'll ever do. The least boring survey, I guess you could call it at the same time. So you swipe through, you click, you can tap. It's a way to ask children about their experiences in education right now, what they're like, and how they'd like to change it. So far, we've got thousands of responses from more than 150 countries, and we'd love to share it with you guys so that you can help it fly and get as many responses as possible. And the other is by inviting students to be factivists, so to research education either locally or globally and share their findings and what they think should happen with the world. So Sananda, it sounds like your students are already being factivists for SDG 4, so I'd love to hear more about that. And we've got, again, lots of inspiring examples that I'll share with you all. So we'd love you to get involved if you'd like to. So that's me, that's the wrap up. And just to say, there's lots of different ways we'd love to get involved with you by sharing the survey, by sharing your factivism posters that students generate with the world. You can use all of our resources, they're free, and we're also always happy to come in and discuss doing maybe a webinar in your school, a training session with teachers. We do it all for free. The only limit is capacity. So it's not always possible, but we do whatever we can. And we love doing them, which is why we're here today. So thank you all for listening. And I'll share all of these links with you. And please do let me know any questions. John, do you want to share any questions that came through as I was talking there?
I think it was mainly comments, Jack, about how brilliant this work was. I think there's particular interest in sharing the survey link.
Absolutely.
So, that would be great. Just before we go on, would anybody like to ask a question before we move on? Lots of very positive comments coming through the chat. We will share the recording, and of course we'll share all the links and Jack's work with you all.
Great, yeah. I'll share some link. Oh, sorry, did someone come in with a question there?
Anybody want to? Hello, I think somebody wants to ask a question for Jack.
Yes, I'm Fetty. John.
Hello, Fetty.
Yeah, I just want to ask Jack, as the topic of today is reflections. What are his own reflections after doing all of this?
Great question. The thing I'm reflecting on a lot at the moment is that students, when they're given the opportunity, have incredible powers of agency and creativity, and they're very, very persuasive. I think we've all listened to enough adults talk about what needs to change in education or the Sustainable Development Goals. We've all listened to lots of presentations from adults. I've just added another one to the world. But really, when you hear a student stand up and talk about something that they're passionate, you get a whole new perspective on it, and it really helps light the fire. So it's been so rewarding hearing from students. And as I say, through the survey, we're collecting lots and lots of these voices, and then we're going to be sharing the results through students. They'll be attending events and sharing the findings with the world. So I think that's my big reflection. The other is just that everything we do is through teachers, and we love meeting teachers, and sometimes we feel a little bit isolated in our world in our office in London. So it's just so great having opportunities like this to meet educators who do the hardest job, but do the really important work.
Great. Thanks, Jack. You will always be Jake to Prince William, but you'll always be our Jack. Thank you, Jack. Really, really, really impressive work. And thanks for all your great support there. Okay, we're still having some issues accessing Nesreen. So we are going now across to Turkey to our fantastic global educators, Servet and Arzu. Over to you, and the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Greetings from Turkey, first of all. I am on a school trip right now in Izmir in Space Camp. That's why if I have any internet connection problems, or if you hear any noises around us, please excuse us. I'm not even in the same city with my colleague and teaching partner, Servet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello again. First of all, we would like to thank Global School Alliance for giving us the opportunity to meet many educators from all around the world. And then I would like to give some information about our school, Tarsus'e Middle School, which is under the umbrella of a long-established foundation, Health and Education Foundation. Our school is accredited by CIS, Council of International Schools, in fact. And our school's mission is, we wanted to highlight it, especially highlight it, to raise global students who are lifelong learners. Therefore, we are all aware that global citizens care about the world issues as well as the issues in their local living environments.
Hello, everyone. You all look great. Welcome again. We are the experienced teachers with Arzu, my colleague. We are doing it with passion for teaching. We currently work on multiple projects related to sustainable development goals and the development of lesson materials and differentiated learning activities for middle school students.
And today, in fact, we wanted to divide our presentation into three with three subtitles. Maybe we can move on with the slide. Thank you so much. And the first one, what we have done on GSA Platform and what we will do in the near future. And second one, intercultural activities, e-twinning projects and joint projects we implemented at school. And the third one is sustainable development goals activities we did in the classrooms. And here you could see the meetings we attended on GSA Platform. First, we had a meeting with dear Tony. Thank you, Tony, again. She had introduced the calendar and the topics of 2022. Then our students found many chances to meet their global peers and to discuss about the global issues. And finally, we had a meeting with dear John, and we got our Bronze Global School Award. And now we have been working to get our Silver Award. And the next one is, one of the intercultural activities we have done recently was exchanging New Year and Christmas cards with such cooperative schools. Folkestone St. Mary's Church of England's Primary Academy from United Kingdom and Euroline School from Greece. We would like to thank Colette and Kelly for their cooperation. By the help of GSA Platform, you may easily find other schools from different parts of the world to work together. And what about our future cooperations on GSA Platform? We also have some future plans to realize. These photos are from our last Zoom meeting with Anna from Greece. We will work on a joint project called Let's Make a Better World, More Green and More Clean. Anna will also include us into an e-twinning project. We will come together at the beginning of the year and we will be all talking about all the details. And yes, maybe the most important part, the reflection time. I would like to share what we did at school globally in 2022. In fact, we have more things to share, but we wanted to choose more specific ones. The first one is our e-twinning project. We implemented a project called Imaginary Creatures. You could see the link here, in fact. We will share our presentation with you. If you're interested in, you may check the link and see lovely products of our students. In the project, our partner countries were Greece, Malta, and Italy. And we think that characters with mysterious and extraordinary powers have always fascinated people. The aim of the project is to learn about different cultures and the stories of those cultures and to develop students' creative writing, especially story writing skills. After exchanging information about the partner countries, the students in teams wrote stories in English, acted out and performed their favorite stories in a shadow theater. As you could see in the picture, we loved that and we loved that idea at the same time. And the next one, another e-twinning project we implemented was Simple Acts, Big Impacts. In this project, our students learned more about environmental issues, recycling and waste separation by playing online games and watching videos on how to separate waste. The students then designed their own recycling bins and launched the Ticket to No Wasteland, which we really appreciate. With this campaign, students brought together household waste from home and sorted it into recycling bins. And here you could see our poster, Ticket to No Wasteland, and the recycling bins designed by our students. And here, this one is a joint project with Portugal with the slogan of "The world is a rainbow." Global citizenship and intercultural communication was in the middle of that project. And the concept of it are at the center of our foreign language education at school. In this context, our students had a video conference call with students from a school in Portugal in the event called "The World is a Rainbow," which we organized to develop intercultural education initiatives with schools in European countries and to increase students' awareness of different cultures through cooperations. We can continue with the next one. Yes, we talked about it, the global citizenship and intercultural communication through the project. And we have another one. We can move on. Yes, exchanging letters. Another intercultural activity was exchanging letters. Our students were pen pals with their peers studying at an international school in China. You could also see the process of writing a letter and our letters wall here. As pen pal, they had the opportunity to get to know the lives of different cultures and observe intercultural similarities and differences. In this way, our students developed both their language skills and their communication and collaboration skills at the same time. International Week and European Day of Languages. These are the activities we regularly celebrate throughout a week and we really enjoy. And how do we celebrate it? With a fun and differentiated learning activities and competitions at the same time. You could see some posters over there. These are some photos from European Day of Languages, and we have some competitions, as you could see in our auditorium. And International Library Week, what did we do on that week? During that week, our students met with British writer and poet Sarah Holding, author of climate fiction books. During the online meeting, the author shared information about one of the literary genres, climate fiction, and our students who had the opportunity to interact with a foreign author also gained detailed information about book writing process. And you could see the poster over there at the same time. Another activity that we held was Francophone activities. We invited educational attaché of France to our school for Francophone activities. In an open area, we had different stations in which there were games, dances, quiz shows, drawing activities, and competitions at the same time. We enjoyed a lot. Students enjoyed a lot. It was a great and fantastic day to celebrate. And the next one was Oktoberfest. We celebrate every year. The Oktoberfest. We aim to implement cultural differences and values and how important it is to learn different languages and different cultures in our curriculum. This year, our students had a pleasant time visiting interesting and fun stations in their German lessons. We invited a lecturer who is the head of the Department of German Language Teaching from one of the leading universities in Turkey. And at lunchtime, our students ate delicious German dishes prepared by our skillful cooks in our school cafeteria, decorated with motifs reflecting German culture and accompanied by German music at the same time. And we joined an international competition organized by Kazimierz Pulaski University of Technology and Humanities in Radom, Poland. Our students enjoyed a lot while taking the video, and we enjoyed at the same time. And at school, the next one, we can move on. Thank you so much. At school, we have a club called Junior EMEN, Junior Model United Nations Club. And we are the teachers of that club with Servet. And we attend national events and conferences every year. However, we have always wanted some international connections in this club. And GSA opened the doors in that sense. We used the documents shared by GSA and the topics on the platform and the international meetings we attended inspired our students to create their own podcast series. And the name of our podcast series was I Have a Voice, which is very meaningful. These podcasts were added into our e-library and shared with the school community as well. And then you could see the topics our students chose to talk here. Refugee children, they talked about femicide, many different topics, many global problems they shared with us. And another one is our Minecraft Education Edition. Minecraft Education Edition is one of the tools that we have been using very frequently at our school. We made an interdisciplinary project. English, science, maths, social studies, and Turkish teachers created their own classrooms by giving students some missions to complete. And I was one of them. I created that classroom, as you could see in the picture. And students were asked to build their own sustainable cities by following their teachers' guidance and instructions, of course. And what we did, let me just show them. And you could see some students' products here and the sustainable cities. They were great. In fact, they were more creative than we imagined, in fact. Yes. And what we can advise, what we can recommend here, or why we want to share what we did on Minecraft Education Edition is because you could benefit from some subject kits, including the subjects in the photo. For example, you can find something from science, maths, or related to digital citizenship or literature, or you can find many things. And we prepared a list of topics, in fact. You may find on Minecraft Education Edition related to Sustainable Development Goals. You may even see the ready guided lessons plans, which are pretty teacher-friendly, by the way. That's why we highly recommend it. In fact, students know Minecraft better than we do. And in this way, we can learn from each other. And learning process is becoming more and more effective and more productive. And that's why we highly recommend that one. And then you could find many topics here: extinction, biodiversity, digital skills, zero waste, save the ocean. Even some of them are sponsored by BBC at the same time. And that's all I want to share for today. Thank you for attending. Thank you for listening. We would like to thank GSA for giving us that opportunity to meet you. Now, floor is yours, Servet.
Thank you. Hi, everyone again. Now I will mention you about how we implement SDGs in our lessons. As we have mentioned, we are working on global issues, and we want to introduce you some of our lessons to show what we are doing to raise awareness in sustainable development goals. Climate action is one of the global issues that our students address in the English lessons. After talking about what the climate problems in the world are, we discussed the impact of climate change on living things and our environment, and also about what we can do to eliminate the climate problem. This is the picture of the climate connection in English lessons. Again, our students organized the climate action, which brings together people from all over the world to tackle the challenges related to climate change. Our students signed the Global Youth Letter to create ideas, innovation, and change in the fields of the culture, art, and education through the English language lessons. Simon says this is an interesting photo and activity. I would like to talk to you about that. Simon is a blue whale that lives in the oceans. As there is too much garbage in the area where he lives, instead of leaving his home, he decides to take matters into his own hands and save his home. His life is now in danger because the waste materials in the oceans are causing the climate problem. What would you like to, and how would you like to, or would you like to help Simon on his journey that we have set out the slogan Think Blue? Our students carry out the activity with slogan Think Blue in their computer science classes to find solutions by developing ideas based on this problem. That was so fun. Then they developed a game software that collects all the garbage in the ocean. They had fun a lot. Parker the tiger. Throughout the World Animal Protection Day, our students read articles, participated in discussions, and created slogans about animal rights, endangered animals, and wildlife protection in their English classes. Those are the pictures of their slogans and posters. Adopting a tiger. Our students learned that the tiger population has decreased by 95% compared to the last century. For that day, our students adopted a tiger, which was very interesting for them. They named it as Parker the tiger, inspired by the character from the movie Life of Pi, and organized an event to raise awareness on wildlife conservation. They learned that 2022 was the year determined as the year of tiger all over the world, and made a very valuable contribution to natural life by adopting a tiger. Now, are you ready to hear the facts? Here is our corner. You could see our Sustainable Development Goals studies. We have designed many, but this is just an example. And we are mostly doing it our club time, Junior MUN Lessons club time. That was just one reflection of that time corner.
Dear Servet, can I add something here? In fact,
of
this
course.
is the activity that Jack tested, because he was talking about factivist activity.
Yeah.
We did the same activity with Jack.
Yeah, I've heard. Proud to be there. Our students prepare posters, titles, facts with statistical information they found in their English lessons, and also, as I mentioned, Junior Remian Club lessons in line with sustainable cities and communities and climate action goals. They shared the QR codes in which they voiced their own solutions and reflected on them. Thank you. Save the Earth. Glaciers are melting. Oh, okay, now it's okay. Europe Code Week is a coding movement in which more than 100 countries showing that computer programming is a simple and can be done by everyone. In this context, fun coding activities were carried out. During the activity, students participated in the escape game Energy Hunters at Work and created solutions to the missions by focusing on the related global problems or issues. And glaciers are melting, the world is crying. Our students again practiced writing poems about global warming based on the text they read about climate change within the scope of Eco School project and sustainability team in Turkish lessons. We do not throw it away, we make models. Our students designed models based on the guided books they read in their Turkish lessons in order to emphasize sustainability. Each student designed their favorite part of the book with waste materials and shared the content of the book with the school community. And hunger. This is the one that we put into practice, an idea from the book of sustainable ideas they had previously created. Accordingly, they created slogans to end hunger. In order to prevent waste in our school, they hanged the slogans they created in our school cafeteria where their friends could see them. They had fun. And World Food Day. Which is celebrated every year on October the 16th. Also was celebrated with various activities in our schools in English lessons. One of them was Food Race Game, an international social responsibility project supported by the World Food Programme. Students answered some questions in the game. With each correct answer, they sent a total of 60,000 grains of rice to people living below the hunger line. Warm feet, warm hearts. Tarsus 7 middle school students acting with the mission of lifelong learners and citizens of the world implemented the Warm Feet, Warm Hearts project to draw attention to sustainable development goals, ending poverty and reducing inequalities. 580 pairs of socks brought by our students were developed and delivered to Children's Home and Girls Orphanage. An equinox excitement in Tarsus Safe. We welcomed the autumn equinox on September 23rd by getting dressed in black and white. We aim to increase our students' sensitivity on this issue by associating this day with gender equality. And we also have fun. We have well-being activities for our teachers within the framework of Sustainable Development Goal the third. Here are some photos of us. This is from Teachers' Day, and this is from the Union well-being activities. Thank you. Yes, everyone, thanks for listening to us. We are learning by having fun, which is important to us. Thank you so much, Tony and John. You have a lot in contributing our development also in that platform. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thanks, Servet, and thanks, Arzu. A brilliant school, brilliant collaboration, and good luck with the school trip there, Arzu. Okay, we move across now to Bournemouth, the sunny south coast of England, and it's hello to Martin Ridley at St. Peter's Catholic School. Over to you, Martin.
Hey, thank you, John. Thank you very much indeed. So it's absolutely my pleasure to be here, and I'm just going to share my screen and start my presentation, if I may. Thank you. So hopefully this is all going to work. Rightio. Right. So everybody, hi. I'm Martin Ridley, and I've been a teacher here in Bournemouth for quite a long time. I'm now starting to teach children of the children I taught, which is sort of scary, but sort of nice. And I've been very lucky to work with an awful lot of people over the years since starting my sort of international work journey in 2009. So I'll try and take you through a couple of highlights from the last year. And I must say, listening to everybody this evening, it's fairly amazing what everyone does. So I think I sort of feel like I pale into insignificance, but it's just difficult sometimes being a full-time teacher and doing something extra. And I'm sure that a lot of you sort of know what I mean. But just take it from me, I'm amazed by everybody's work. It's really interesting. So I'm just going to take you through the next slide here, because this is for us one of our key partnership with GSA Conference Combined School in KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. And we connected in 2009. And I've been lucky enough to be involved with these guys because they're just some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. The students are always incredibly upbeat. Nicholas, the man in the brown jacket there, is one of the best people I've ever met in my life. And we work as collaboratively as possible. That includes listening, that includes just talking really openly and very frankly about some of the problems that we have and how we can help. And our focus has always been on leadership, not just in South Africa, but in this school where I am here, St. Peter's as well. And we just know we can learn a lot from each other. This is Katie Stanistreet in the middle there. She's a teacher here at St. Peter's, and she went over and she's also helping me as well. You're going to hear a little bit from her soon. We also ran a student trip in 2015 with these guys in the picture on the bottom left, and that was truly a life-changing trip for some of those students. I think 3 of those students changed their plans for their immediate future. And I know of 2 of them who are now in a career of development and working in other countries. It was truly staggering. We had an amazing time. And this is Nicholas in my classroom. He's been over to St. Peter's a few times, and I've just got such a massive amount of respect for his leadership, his dedication. And again, it's such a good, true partnership. We've often just talked about what each other needs and also the school's needs, and we try really hard to work together on that. I must say, one thing that's kept our partnership going is the leadership here at my school in St. Peter's. And the point was made a long time ago, really, of how can we make the most of our partnership work so that we get students engaged, but more to the point, outcomes. How can we show that students are really benefiting a lot from the partnership? And for both schools, we try really, really hard to make whatever we do directly help students learning. I know that sounds really obvious, but as soon as we've got that leadership spotlight on curriculum outcomes, then it makes it a lot clearer for everybody else. And to have the backing from leadership it just opens doors for everything. This is Katie, as I said. She's just going to talk to you now about what she's been doing with drama. And I thought it was just a lot easier to film Katie in just a short film, 3 minutes or so, where she's just going to talk it through. And you might hear me prompting as well, but she doesn't work on Thursdays, so it's also a lot more practical, and hopefully this will work.
My name's Katie Stanistreet. I'm one of the drama teachers here at St Peter's, and I've been working with Martin on international stuff for the last couple of years, and I've been lucky enough to travel to GSA Conference School and experience it firsthand.
Okay, go for it.
So when I was in South Africa, you know, I really got to experience the cultural context of this story, which unquestionably then improved my teaching. I was able to share that knowledge with the students on return to create a scheme of work that was rich and with plenty of cultural references, allowing them to learn so much more, and for me to learn so much more as a teacher, actually.
One day he came to a small village and met a man who lived in the cave next to the village. The herdsman told the knights of all the offerings that they had been made. A terrible drought has kept.
So tell me about this.
So what we're looking at here is, well, it's our Year 7 students at GSA Conference School. Reimagining the story of St George and the Dragon. So this all came from a scheme of work that I wrote. I'd been out to South Africa, I'd been to GSA Conference School, I'd met all these students, I'd taught some English lessons, which was brilliant. But what was also very abundantly clear is these students were really wonderful at just getting up and doing. And there aren't the drama specialists at GSA Conference School, and so I thought when I returned, well, what can I do about that? So essentially what I did is I created a scheme of work, a drama scheme of work. It was about an exchange of cultural stories. So we gave them St George and the Dragon, they gave us the story Why the Cheetah's Cheeks Are Stained. And the schemes of work were an exchange of those beautiful stories and then learning about each other's cultures. And the end result essentially is that they sent us this astonishing, brilliant video of them creating the story of St George and the Dragon, which was just amazing and beautifully directed, and the teachers got really involved and the kids absolutely loved it. Over here we did exactly the same thing. We learned all about Zulu culture, we learned all about the traditional story and the moral of that story, and then similarly, as we see on the video now, these students then created their interpretation. Our students here at St Peter's created their interpretation of that. It was brilliant.
Okay, so I just really wanted Katie to tell you really, because she was central to that, and it turned out to be a really, really great collaboration. So a very, very pleasing activity. In St Peter's, we have a very strong link with a school in, I'll say that again, a charity in India. It's called Reaching the Unreached, and it was set up by a former teacher, a guy called James Kimpton, and he used to teach here at St Peter's School and then went to India and set up Reaching the Unreached. I've done a couple of things with the charity, and that's been really, really interesting for me, but very, very useful for students in St Peter's, because we often raise money for Reaching the Unreached. We call it Brother Lionel because that was James Kimpton's religious name. And I made a short film here just to sort of show you around. And then on I don't mind, the bit in the middle here is a sort of display of all the children that the charity helps. And it's really, really nice. But I wanted to go a bit bigger. So I made the thing that I'm just about to sort of show you here. This is in one of our dining rooms. So it was not just me. This was a student group and a big activity over months that made this. We researched India. We had video conferencing with the school that Brother James set up. And then this really, really long poster I'm just about to tell you about started with the apple that's in that picture. There's Brother James as he was in the school. And then we were sent this apple card from India. And I thought, wow, that's an amazing thing. Let's see what my students can do. So we started this really, really long poster. And this side being shown is the Indian side. They sent it back through the charity, and it's just incredible. The artistry and the care and the time, it's just amazing. And in the middle there is my tutor group who started it. And so they worked on the poster, and then we got back and sort of just flabbergasted, really. And then we talked to a former student who'd been out to India as well and got her to be involved in making this big display. So I wanted to show you that because it's a really, really nice, long-lasting thing. It's not easy doing these kinds of things, as I'm sure all of you understand. And also putting it up includes putting it behind this perspex. So, you know, no one's got any money, so you have to kind of scrabble around for some money to do all these things. If I just show you the next bit, these other people on the screen are just amazing people, and I'm really keen to work with people, but these guys have helped me a lot to collaborate further. So Mohammed Khan in Karnawal in Pakistan, we've got plans to work together in the future, and he's very interesting as a person. For example, you know, what they do is very interesting as well. So, for example, today I was teaching a class about how Mohammed has led a group of his students to help Christians. And it was this time last year at Christmas that his students, who are all Muslim, invited in this very small group of Christians who live outside of their town. They invited them into the school to be kind and be nice and to give them charity. And this, of course, is very lovely at this time of year because it links so well with giving presents and thinking of other people. But I think sometimes students only think of themselves, quite frankly, because I mean, they're children and it's natural. But it's also a fantastic example of thinking of other people in other cultures. And Mohammed had sent me some photos last year, and you know, that teaching's still going, and the students are always really interested to learn about that. Wei Shu Chang in Changhua in Taiwan recently sent us some postcards his students have made, and we're going to write postcards back. I've asked the head of history here at St. Peter's if his students would like to get involved with this, and he said yes, absolutely, and then went on paternity leave as his family grew and his wife had just given birth to another baby. So sometimes we're all incredibly willing, but lots of things get in the way. And I think that's quite an acceptable excuse. But we'll get back on that and follow up with some more postcards in the new year. I'll just show you the next slide here as well, and to finish on, I suppose, because I've got this quite enormous to-do list that does seem to be growing. A nice project that we're going to start in the next sort of 2 or 3 months is this maths collaboration with GSA Connor. There's a really lovely and very impressive teacher here who, Mr. O'Shea, Paul O'Shea, who teaches maths. And we tried to get this off the ground a couple of years ago, a few years ago, where classes send backwards and forwards things like worksheets for maths and math problems. And it's quite easy to do, where the class makes some worksheets based on their own sort of current teaching. So that's a nice teaching activity to test if students are really understanding these concepts and skills and problems. And so students make the worksheets and then send them off to the other school. Students then in the other school complete the worksheets. And you can do this just by scanning papers into PDFs, and it's quite nice. Quite fortunately for us with GSA Connor School, we're on a very similar timeline going longitudinally. So in the past, we've linked up with video calls we've done that a lot. And linking school to school is just incredibly powerful. And when we did it with India, of course, we ended up really asking people in India to stay up until sort of midnight to do that. And they were incredibly generous. And we did that one time, but yeah, that was very effective. We need to consider how we raise money as well, because I've written that social media didn't help, because we raised £2,500 this year for Share Connor School, which is fantastic, and I'm very happy about that. But it raised problems of bullying here in St. Peter's School, where people were taking photos of others in their ordinary clothes. The Mufti Day is where students don't wear school uniform and come to school in their own clothes. And there's been a concern raised that bullying happened through social media. I don't really know how we're going to get creative with that. I do know certainly that we're not going to let fundraising drop, because this year we're going to use the £2,500 to support a project at Share Connor School that's concentrating on getting students to and from school safely. Because about 2.5 years ago, 2 students were killed and quite a large number, maybe 14 students, were badly injured in a nasty minibus crash. And at the time, we shared prayers, and we opened a book of condolences here, and we shared everything that was written with Share Connor School. But we felt that deeply. So we're really pleased to be able to support the Back a Buddy scheme, which is to get students to and from school safely. For the past 2 years, though, our fundraising has supported an extra teacher at Share Connor School. And we've been very, very, very pleased to do that, because we're lucky that we've got a lot of good teachers, and Share Connor School's lucky that it's got a number of great teachers, but every single teacher makes a huge difference. So we were fortunate enough to be able to back that scheme. The third thing there is to embed our partnerships into more schemes of work, and that really helps teachers here at St. Peter's School really focus on international work. I've been lucky to get a lot of people coming to me, but this bit really is me going out to them and to say, look, this is what I can offer your subject, your department, and let's get that into schemes of work. So every year, we're looking at this bit, and we're using this bit every single year. So you can, come back to the same thing and reinvigorate it if you wish, but it has to be there in the first place. The fourth thing there, I've just started, and I really want to carry on with this, see how far I can get it, is to see if Bournemouth University, our local university, can help develop our existing school partnerships. That's just a bit embryonic and started, so I'll see how that goes. And this final thing is one of the great reasons I'm here, to really learn from everybody else. John, thank you so much for putting me in touch with David Geldart of the Bambasinani Partnerships. He's incredible, and he's literally written a book, and he's also, as you said quite rightly, sort of 10 years down the line from where I am at the moment. So we're in a good place, and it's been an absolute ride and riot and fantastic stuff so far, but there's so much going on around the world and in this country as well, from Jake Davies to everybody else. Thank you very much. Just heartfelt gratitude from me, really, because you're all doing such amazing things, and I'm looking forward to learning more. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. And we love your tip as well about sharing the expertise in the UK. The in-country support is always invaluable as well, and connecting with higher education. We hope Nesreen is there. We've been having problems connecting with Nesreen. We thought you'd got off to your birthday treat at one point, Nesreen. Are you okay to present, or?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Without further ado, with some birthday cake, over to you, Nesreen.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm working the Global Alliance, Global School Alliance team. Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Nesreen.
Okay. So before I start, I think John always says you are the most important people in the world. Their professions. I was one of the billion epic teacher in the world till 2012. Starting 2013, the magic happened since I joined the global education community. I'm Nesreen Nuruddin, Vice Principal for Arabic Education at British Columbia Canadian International School for students ages 4 up to 18. Working in global education since 2013, have a master's degree in general quality management and high diploma in quality education. I hold like 22 years of experience working in education field. During the last 10 years, I used every international opportunity to help my students and my school to improve my career path. I have connected my students with the United Nations SDGs activities. Visited many schools, partnered in the UK, India. I visited India, by the way, 2 times. Jordan, Tunisia, and Morocco, and I organized the first International Students-led conference in the UK, working in 2 sustainable development goals, quality education and mental health and well-being in 2019 for 12 schools from around the globe. I also hosted 2 partner schools from India in Egypt, and we welcomed our partner school from the UK in March 2022. And most recently, we hosted our partner school from India on November 1st. We also exchanged cultural books with multiple countries like Lebanon, UK, Northern Ireland, and South Korea. Let me share my screen, please. So, can you see my screen?
We can't, Nesreen, unfortunately.
Would you like me to share your presentation?
Yes,
for
please.
You?
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Hang on, then I'll get that for you. There you go.
I introduced myself enough. Next one, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think you've done that as well, haven't you? You're up to here?
Yes. We live an increasingly globalized world, and connecting with another country is the best way to prepare yourself and your students for fitting into such world. I love Gandhi's quote, be the change you want to see in the world. And the only tool that can change the world is education. So cultural trip for students and teachers from 12 countries, Brazil, Greece, Japan, Mongolia, Poland, Russia, Taiwan, Turkey, Vietnam. So we used to meet weekly, virtually, to discuss various topics on English and English language skills. Next, please. We also conducted many online webinars on glimpses of ancient Egypt with our partner schools from the UK.
Hi, Nesreen. Can you hear us? I think Nesreen's frozen. Can you hear us?
You're back.
You're back.
Nesreen?
No, I think.
Okay.
I think we've lost Nesreen. This is brilliant work Nesreen's doing, and we're very keen, if necessary, that she can contribute at a future webinar. We've got another webinar coming up in January. So if we're not able to see all of Nesreen's presentation, rest assured, we will have a participation in our next one.
Are you back, Nesreen? I think she's.
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry.
I'm going to celebrate my birthday.
Do we want to continue or?
Nesreen, if you wish, we know you're having some real technical issues there, we'd be delighted to have you contribute to our first webinar of 2023.
Sure, I have no problem.
Because you're doing some brilliant work.
Yes.
So we have our next webinar on the 26th of January, and we'd be delighted to have you contribute to that, because we know you're doing amazing things, and obviously the technical issues are winning this afternoon.
So sorry to hear that, Nesreen. Like, we are also very conscious it's nearly 6 o'clock as well. So apologies, and we do hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So we'll see you on the 26th of January. But just to say to all our wonderful contributors, to Sananda, to Nesreen, to Servet, to Arzu, to Jack, aka Jake, and Martin, you are the most important people in the world. It's absolutely inspirational to learn about your great work and sharing it and spreading the fantastic work about it. So I think we should give everyone a great round of applause to say thank you. So stay in touch, and we look forward to seeing you in 2023. And do bring on a colleague, do bring on another school to the Alliance next year. Okay, thanks, Tony.
Thank you. And before you leave, when we do close down, there is a survey at the end, and that will also register you to get your certificate of participating in the conference. So if you could fill in the survey when we finish. And I just want to wish everybody season's greetings, and hopefully everybody has a peaceful, restful time at Christmas and goes back regenerated for 2023. I think it's been a long year and we're all needing a break, aren't we? So please enjoy your breaks and come back in 2023. Don't forget to fill in the survey. And if you're not a member, join us and contribute. It'd be fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for participating.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Bye
all the
now.
best.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Nesreen.
Thank
See you next month.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
See
so
you all.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Arzu.
you so much.
Sign. Happy
Thank you,
Thank you,
birthday.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye.
See you, Rob.
Bye-bye.